Welcome to another episode. I'm Veronica Polo here. So I've noticed that the majority of the people answering our surveys on Spotify for the free audit are podcasters. And so with that in mind, I would like to give you this podcast marketing for podcasters episode. But also, please, if you don't have a podcast, but you rather have a service, a blog, a coaching service, follow along because I am very sure you're going to find this very helpful too. Hey, I'm Veronica Polo, and with more than 15 years being a marketing strategist, you're going to experience the new way to promote your business with clear and unique messaging by giving you actionable marketing and messaging strategies that get you interested leads to transform the lives of your audiences so that you build up your brand with continuous momentum. Get ready because here's where we say no to outdated marketing strategies and society norms, and we say yes to change from the inside out. Welcome to the Branding Momentum Podcast. So before we start, please, we would love to help as many people as we can. So if you can, while you're listening to this episode, share it. Tag us, let us know that you're listening so that we can repost it and people can see how you are enjoying this Branding Momentum podcast. We want to get to as many people as we can, and we can only do that through you. So let's get clear on one thing. Just posting and creating content and praying somebody will see your post is not a marketing strategy. So your marketing strategy needs to be how you're going to generate more leads. And in case of having a podcast, how you're going to get more listeners, if you have a blog, or how you're going to get more readers, right? So if your end goal is to provide value, having a podcast, and you want more listeners, what are the actions you should take? So first, you need to create a brand. And your podcast may be that other side business that you may have besides what you are already offering, right? Or you can simply be just a podcast and you just want to provide value, right? I remember when I first started my podcast, even before I even started to record my podcast, I listened to a lot of podcasters, read their description and analyzed the way that, the jingles and the intros, how was the music, I looked into a lot of cover podcasts for inspiration. And the purpose of my podcast has always been to create a community for service-based business owners to learn how to promote their business to get more leads, right? Whether it's on social media, with digital products, with lead generation, anything, right? And although I had my business, I quickly realized that having a podcast was as time consuming as my own business if I wanted to grow it. So I needed to understand that I needed to create, first of all, a brand, create a marketing brand. So to build a marketing brand, you need to identify what's your unique point of view for having this podcast or a blog or a YouTube video or anything that you may be doing, right? Your covers need to scream, "This is me," with instant brand colors. People need to identify it right away. Your subjects need to reflect what your audience really wants to hear about your podcast. Like, how can you make their lives better by entertaining them or empowering them? And fourth, if your podcast is your main business, you can think of merchandise, but I would only get into that a little bit later as you grow. So for example, one of my branding traits is that my podcasts are short and sweet. I want to attract people that can get what they need quick and continue their day, actionable things that they can apply right away. And the second thing I want to consider for your podcast is lead generation. Like, getting leads is crucial for any podcast or any YouTube channel or any service blog or business, right? So without leads, you can't get sales, plain and simple, right? No leads, no sales. And if you don't let people know you have a new episode or a new blog or a new video, how can people actually back you up? So to build a marketing lead generation, you should build your list of listeners and subscribers, aka your consistent newsletter, letting people know when your episode or any other piece of content is coming out. Otherwise, why do all this work if nobody finds out that you're out, right? Create exclusive resources that are free in exchange for their email. So obviously making it so tempting that they can't resist to sign up. So offer, for example, templates or checklists that provide practical solutions to your listeners or to your readers or to the people that are watching. Offer discounts or special promotions to your email subscribers. Now, the last marketing strategy I would like to share, and it's not going to be social media because I want to give you that episode on its own, but I want to give you an even more powerful strategy, which is SEO. And this SEO strategy is simply to be found beyond podcast or any other piece of content you want to promote. So with that thought in mind, that everything that we write, we search on the internet, these search engines, find us the right content they want us to consume. Then our podcast or any other content, we should treat it just like that. So your SEO marketing strategy is to use tools like keyword research or like TubeBuddy or Keywords Everywhere to identify the right words your audience or your specific niche is searching for your topics. Then you're going to be optimizing your episode titles and your descriptions to create, descriptive, keyword-rich episode titles and descriptions that accurately represent the content of each episode. And what is this going to do is going to help search engines, understand what the podcast is all about, but also what your potential audience or reader, potential audience is actually searching for. So another thing that you can do is transcribe your podcast episodes into blog posts and tweak with SEO titles and keywords for search engines to find your blogs easily. And this can actually help you to reach a wider range of audience with different tastes, people that like to read and people that like to listen. Don't forget to add all the appropriate links in and the calls to action into this blog, right? And for those of you that have a blog, you do the same. You're going to create audios for this. You can, switch it around. You can create videos. You can transcribe those videos, turn them into blogs, turn them into podcast episodes. Now, the last thing I want you to do is to also optimize your website by including all your blogs, all your videos, all the podcasts. This not only improves accessibility, but it also provides additional content for search engines to actually index where this information can't be found. Okay, so there you have it. As you can see, these strategies can be applied to anything. First, we got to build the brand. We got to create lead generation. We got to create that list. And then we got to be able to describe what we're doing so that search engines and people that have disabilities or not, or different taste, how to consume content, can actually help us find what we're putting out. This is very simple for everybody to do, but like I always say, test for at least 3 months, and be consistent. If you're going to be doing blogs and podcasts, be consistent with what you are putting out. Consistency is key, because consistency also lets people know that you're serious about your podcast or blog or service or anything that you're putting out. Okay. And be sure that if you have any questions, send me a DM at Veronica de Polo. I hope to see you same time, same place next week. Bye-bye. Thank you.